from her. This is written to Brian. When asked to share stories about my cousin Brian, so many come to mind, and I have shared several with him over the years. When Brian was about 2 years old, my family flew out to California to visit. I remember my Aunt Sandra and cousin Steve meeting us at the airport with gifts, paper dolls for me and my older sister, and an hourglass rattle toy for our baby sister. I don't think Brian had even seen his mom hold a baby before. He did not like it when his mother held the baby. He walked up to her and demanded, "Put that thing down." Every time he saw her holding my sister, a.k.a. that thing, she would have to give her to my mom and hold Brian. There have always been a lot of miles between our families, but the best times we shared were when the Foltz family moved to Wichita, Kansas. Though it was an 8-hour drive, we were able to spend many weekends, summer vacations, and holidays. I've ever done traveling in the southern states back in the 70s, then you may be familiar with a little chain of stores called Stuckey's. If Brian was in the car and there was a Stuckey's, it was never passed up because Brian had to get his beef jerky. It should have been called Brian's. Beef jerky was a must for traveling and those summer days fishing at the lake. It is my belief that Aunt Sandra and Uncle Gary kept Stuckey's in business from Texas to Kansas, because once they moved up to Pennsylvania, Stuckey's went out of business. Coincidence? I think not. Brian won't eat just any food. He has always had his likes. I'm not so sure of the dislikes, but I do know the likes. One word: McDonald's. I never knew a kid who ate McDonald's cheeseburgers and fries as much as Brian did. No matter what the rest of the family ate, Brian had to have McDonald's. After one of his likes that he would snack on was the cheese package out of the Kraft macaroni and cheese. I know this because I remember finding half-empty cheese packages in the couch or under the couch. Anywhere he thought he was hiding it. He would just open up the box and leave the macaroni and eat the cheese dry. I ain't making this stuff up there. During a recent conversation with him, I brought up the subject of his cheese habit, and he sheepishly admitted that he still does it. Leanne, you better kind of look behind the couch. Brian has always been an animal lover, hence the 4 dogs he currently has. One time when we were in Kansas visiting during the summer, we were under a tornado watch, and the funnel was right above the house. Our moms had us kids, along with our dogs, all downstairs in the basement for shelter, when Brian all of a sudden started yelling, "My parakeet, my parakeet!" Before anyone could say anything, he took off running upstairs to retrieve his bird. Brian could scale a wall before you could blink, hence his CB handle, curtain climber. Brian, I'm not making this I just really wouldn't say anybody. Brian has always loved any and all sports, from football to wrestling to racing, anything with wheels on it. Like his brother Steve, he puts his heart and soul into whatever he is doing and is good at succeeding at everything he does. If he's not participating in a sport, he is watching it. Last time we were all together at Aunt Sandra's house in Florida, he had rented the pay-per-view for the Ultimate Fighting Champion. I have written several poems for my loved ones, and here's one for Brian. To you, my cousin Brian, what an inspiration you are. You're a hero to all who love you. Some might say you're a superstar. You have faced every obstacle in the sports you've been a part with stubborn determination and passion from your heart. But the challenge you're facing now is the hardest. Yes, it's rough. You have a light of fight in you. You, Brian, because you're bulldog tough. You're an ultimate fighting champion, like Johnny Hendricks in the UFC. A fight you didn't choose to be part of, handling it all courageously. So here's a little something from me to you with love. Johnny Hendricks, autographed UFC fighting gloves. Hugs and prayers. I love you, cousin Paula.